this video, you will reinforce your naming structure. You will see that I am using the object, size and type.png. So for instance, pillar, the size, so the size of the texture 1024, and then the type of texture that it happens to be, whether I'm using it as a diffuse texture, a normal texture, a displacement texture, or whatever. And now there is a certain learning of the order to do things in, otherwise you will accidentally end up overwriting previous textures that you've made. So let's go experience this now and hop straight on over into Blender. Okay, so back over in Blender, when we are doing some unwrapping, so we've already done the top one up here and put a bit of a texture on it. If I go ahead and select it and hit edit, we can see that the UV image editor down on the right hand side reflects that we've gone into edit mode on there, and if we go to our pillar, it's unwrapped on there. So we've done all the unwrapping here. Now when we start adding the various maps, whether they be normal maps, displacement maps, or whatever we're using that mapping for, what we have to make sure we do is create the image file first and save it. If we do not do that, when you create the next one, where again, whether it be a normal map or a displacement map, Blender will actually overwrite the one that you're currently working on, which is a little annoying and a bit convoluted. So if we hop over into here, we can see that this has got the pillar section image map to it. If I go ahead and pick something else, it's fine, that'll remap it. But if I just go and let's say create pillar, this is going to be a top. It's going to be 1024 naming wise, and let's just leave it as a diffuse at the moment and go and hit OK. Now if I go and use that without actually saving it first, it will actually start overwriting the base one that it was already applied to. So do make sure you create the image first, then go and save it, and then go and start editing it, otherwise it's going to fall apart on you. So in this case I can't save the image, I'm going to have to save as image and then name it appropriately. Wow, I've gone into a funny file structure here, so let's go across to my textures folder, let's hop into here. Oh, gone too far. Of course you will probably be storing yours much more logically rather than deeply buried like me, and then we can call this whatever we want. I'm going to put some brackets on the end and go test because I don't want to overwrite anything else I've been working on, and there we go, we've actually saved this. Now we can start mucking about and using this without worry of overwriting things. Once we've saved it, of course, we then get this option up to save the image and overwrite it, and now I can use that on here without fear of losing other work that I've done. Brilliant. So that's just a quick tip there to prepare you for the number of texture maps that we're about to create coming up. We're going to be going through normal maps, displacements maps, specular maps, etc. And it is important that you don't end up overwriting your previous work. So let's go straight on to the next lecture and dive back into Blender.